Hi there, YouTube. I wanted to do a review video of my cap that I had installed today. This is a Century cap. I looked into a lot of different caps. I've seen Century caps on the road. They always look pretty nice. Lear and ARE, I think, are the brands that always come to mind when somebody wants to buy a truck cap. There's a good reason for that. They've got a lot of market share. I know it's a good quality product. I used to be an automotive customizer, so I used to deal with this stuff quite a bit. I know what good quality parts are and not so much. But nevertheless, there were some pretty good reviews on these Century caps. They're a little less money. They could get it to me a little bit quicker, which is important for me. And this is my 2007 Toyota Tundra. It's a 5.7. It's two-wheel drive. It's got almost 220,000 miles on it. It's been rock solid. It's a work truck. It works every day. And so I ordered this cap. I ordered it probably 7 weeks ago. Like I said, it came in today. It's December 2020. And right off the bat, I was a little bit disappointed because this is a difficult color to match. But, and it's probably difficult to tell in the camera, but the cap is more of a burgundy shade and the truck is called Red Salsa Pearl. And you can definitely see that there's a lot more burgundy in the cap, a lot more red in the truck. And throughout the life of this truck, I've had multiple things painted. This was a chrome bumper. Local body shop, good friend of mine, painted that. The door handles were chrome. The rears were already factory painted. So those have been painted. They match perfectly. Mirror caps as well. I had those painted. They match perfectly. At some point, this thing had a small bump in the front, and the bumper had been replaced when I bought the truck. But I did this color matched grille as well, and it matches perfectly. So I always get kind of frustrated whenever something like that, multiple times people can get it right, and then you've got Century cap here. This is what they do. I mean, they make caps. They make them all day long. They all have to be color matched. And for some reason, they can't seem to get it right. So I'm a little frustrated about that. The fitment's not bad, but it's not great. So it fits the body pretty tight. I've got some overlap on this side. And being an automotive customizer, I got it home and immediately loosened it up. It was hanging over more on the driver's side than the passenger side. So I loosened it up and I went about to try to, really get the overlap perfect on both sides, which isn't really possible. It's more in the molding. So there's more gap here. There's a really sharp edge on the fiberglass here that doesn't exist. Right here, it's not sharp anymore. It's been properly sanded. And it kind of looks bad. I mean, you can really tell it's just a really sharp edge. It's not a blunt edge. And you don't see that anywhere else on the cap. So that's small prep work. Other than that, you can definitely see some evidence of some runs. And some ripples down through the fiberglass right here. It doesn't take much. It takes a couple coats of primer to get rid of that. But I don't think that they really take the time to do that, which might be another good reason that the color doesn't match if you don't lay a good primer down first. A lot of times you'll have a color match issue. This window, immediately I noticed whenever I go to close it, it's out more at the top, significantly more than the other side. So one of the first things I did was went through a car wash. Lots of water in this window. I can run down the crank and tighten it real tight, and I still have the issues with the water. I don't have any leaking issues with this. In this window, the fitment is different. It sets in tighter to the shell on this side. Beyond that, in shipment, I would assume that this window popped up because there's some really good scratches in the window here and in the window here, where more than likely when it was on the truck, the window came up and it got scratched like crazy. So I will be talking to my dealer about that. And then little things that kind of bug me. These seals here were left extremely long. They hung way down here by the tail lights. They weren't properly trimmed. And I'll have to look into it, but it kind of just pushes the seal in, the tailgate does. I don't know if it's supposed to rest on the top of the gate or if it's supposed to fold the seal like that. It seems like if the seal is folded, that would be something for the water to run and find a path into the truck, which I don't want. I've got a bed rug. Also got this thing completely chock full of tools. Beyond that, there's a pretty significant back gap on the back window. You can see it's way outside of the shell, and that shouldn't fit like that. There's no way. So I'm going to play with the latches, but it seems like it's bottoming out already. Like I may be able to adjust the latches just a little bit, but again, that's poor fitment, and I'm not extremely excited about that either. I did get the carpeted headliner option with this, which is decent. It's got an LED dome light, which should be, you know, a nice feature to have, but it is pathetic. I mean, it really doesn't do anything, and it shines straight down. So, you know, unless you've got groceries right here in the back that you're picking up, it really doesn't do any good at all. You know, you've got this block in here with this blocking. So if they would have done something with a bit of a radius that would have given you some forward lighting as well, it would have been something that was worthwhile. But the way it is, it just really isn't. So long story short, I will call Century. I'll let them know. I'm sure they get the paint complaint all the time. I'm sure my dealer will take care of the window. But, you know, these things aren't cheap. So I kind of wish I would have spent the extra money, even though it's an old truck, and purchased the Lear or ARE equivalent cap, because I really think it would have been a better quality cap. One more thing I'm remembering is it's pretty decent scratch in it right here. I can catch it with my nail. And again, there's a lot of lighting in here, so it might be kind of blown out and hard to see, but it's definitely not difficult to see in person. And the truck's got plenty of scratches and dents and dings. It's an older truck, but that's not cause for, you know, purchasing something new and expecting it to be as new and getting it with scratches already. So that's my review on Century caps.